successful speech, what do you imagine the first question is? What's the first question you should be asking yourself?
What is it that the audience? Who is your audience?
Oh, absolutely. In what way?
For example, if you're speaking to a group of athletes,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't necessarily bring to them content relating to mathematics or something that they are not at all interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know who your audience is to be able to bring something that's going to be of interest.
Okay.
Related to
All right. So topic centered.
Okay.
All right. So what else? You have to bring the right topic to the audience. What else?
You have to give the audience something. To give them something.
Okay.
You're standing up
Takeaway.
there, you're not giving them anything they can take away,
Take
but
away.
they can pull a trigger on while you're there.
Okay. Yes.
Like, what's in it for me? They want to take away something. They don't want to just hear your story.
Okay.
How are you?
Huh?
How are you? How are you feeling today?
That's it. You better know where they're at. And if you go on and somebody just made them crack up laughing and you have a serious talk, you better figure out a way. You better have some ways of changing that audience and getting them synced with you within about 30 seconds. And there's two shortcuts I'll tell you about. One is Simon Says. If you say, Simon says, hello, everybody goes into a trance. It's one of the quickest ways to switch gears really fast. If you don't, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to do it naturally. Come in, smile and laugh, and then start steering them towards where you need to start them at, to take them where you want them to go. Okay? If you come home and you've got a serious discussion with somebody and they're laughing, you don't go right in and say, oh, I lost my job today. You know, you kind of wouldn't be as impactful as if you kind of, whatever you needed to do. So the first question is, are you emotionally connected with your audience? That is absolutely the most important question. You better know where that audience is emotionally, and yes, know their background, because you can say things that will bring them into where you want them to be if you know who they are. Like comments about the area. The calves right now is a great way to start a speech, depending on where you want to go with that. I thought about not wearing a shirt up here and getting some tattoos, but then I thought I shouldn't swear either. Yeah, I'm sitting in the airport, literally, I'm sitting in the airport watching LeBron James, and these little kids are sitting around, and he starts dropping the dirty language. And I'm sitting there, he was upset about the B word, and he's using the F word, like, multiple times, and these little kids are sitting around, I'm going, you gotta be kidding me. So, anyway, that was my... Emotionally, he was not connecting with the parents that day. So, what is the second question? What is the second question? If the first question is, are you emotionally connecting, what do you need, also, once you connect, what do you need to do with your emotions? Emotion intelligence throughout your talk. You have to emotionally know where you're at. The power of emotions, let me explain. Your spouse comes home, that spouse has told you 10 times to take the garbage out. The garbage people came already and left, and the garbage is still in the house. Is there going to be any lack of content from that individual when they speak to you?
Nope.
None. Zero. When you get into the emotional part of where you're at, it really speaks to how, if you're excited about what you want to give the audience, get to the point of excitement so you are in your zone. And you are where you express yourself the best for what you're talking about. Because it'll flow out. You don't need any scripting. You don't need any notes. It'll just come out. Because it's who you are. But throughout your talk, you have to watch your audience. You have to know you're connected and you have to steer them. And you start to lose them, you just got to go. It just, like you're having everybody in this room knows how to do it. You have a conversation with somebody in your back porch, in your backyard, and they're drifting, you're not connecting. You're like, you might as well just stop talking. You got to reconnect. What's the third question? For your content masters, this is it.
I'm guessing just from the graphic that you need to make sure that your voice is audible and your speech is easy to comprehend.
Yeah, that's a good point.
How long to stay up there?
what I was gonna get to right now is you're making a crystal clear point. Your content is, there's not one speech you should always be able to summarize a speech in one sentence. If you can't do that, it wasn't a good speech. You should be able to say in one sentence what it was all about. Because if it's more than that, you've lost people. Organizing content. Here's some really good tips on organizing content. Always start with the end in mind. Know exactly where you want to end, and then work backwards. It's absolutely key. And I will tell you this. It's something these two gentlemen told me when I first started the club, and I thought they were crazy. So it took me 2 years to figure out they were absolutely right. So you could talk to any professional, anybody that does this for a living, people that get paid $50,000 and $100,000 to speak, and you can ask them, what do you do first? And they go, I know where I want to end. And then I work it backwards, yes.
I guess that would be the same as knowing where you're going before you just get in the car and go.
Absolutely. Really, that's true. I was in my backyard, and one of our friends comes in and starts complaining about their spouse. And I said, well, how do you know you're miserable? What do you mean? Well, how do you know? Because if you're in the light all the time, you would never know what darkness is. So how do you know? Well, it's not like I used to be. Well, what do you used to be like? Take responsibility for who you are, where you're at. And then they started talking. I said, well, let me ask you a question. Where do you want to be with this relationship? Well, I don't know. I said, well, it doesn't matter. Be miserable. Like, if you don't know, what does that matter? So you're right. You've got to know. You've got to know. Got to know where you're going. And you also find that true with successful people in life. They know exactly what they wanted, and they're willing to die for it. They're willing to spend the rest of their life to be the best. And they don't stop at anything. Every morning they get up and they do something to make them better at what they do. Those are the best. Those are the highest valued people in our society, and they aren't lucky. They've worked their darn tails off. And that's why they're good, and that's why they add value, and that's why you pay them. You pay them because of the value you receive, not because of anything else. It's just a way of gratitude. What is your point? Number 2 is, what is your point in a single, crystal clear sentence? If you can't say your point, and this takes forever. I'm telling you, once you get this sentence, once you figure this out, the speech flies. It just... What is your point in a single, crystal clear sentence? Third is, what do you want your audience to do? In the end, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to sign up for a course? Do you want them to go read a book? Do you want them to think differently? What do you want them to do? How do you want to add value to their life? And what do you want them to do about it? You have to know. And then what emotion brings that action? What emotion brings this action? It could be motivation. It could be fear. It could be hunger. It could be a lot of things. But you have to know. What emotion got you to take that action? It could be curiosity, a real high extreme, fascination, wonder. All those emotions can get you into action. And finally, what's the headline that will get them curious? When you start your speech, somehow, I'm really not into the tell a joke and get them laughing thing. I think that's amateurish. I'm not into the cutesy, how you doing? I'm sorry I'm late. If you have to explain yourself, don't. They know you're late. You don't have to tell them. Just do a knockout job and they'll forgive you. Just like when you're in the line and you're complaining about the person taking so long in front of you, the minute you get there, you stop complaining. Same thing. You deliver the goods, you're gonna be fine. The headline that makes them curious. What makes somebody lean in and go, well, I want to listen to this person? What is it that makes them curious? What made you curious? Or interesting. Some people don't like to be curious. What makes them interested?